So again, right, this is the I.S.U.P.K and the Devo. Again, I.S.U.P.K started around fellowship with SHALAM under commanding GEN.YAHANNA, right? And I'm teaching of Sawapyaahla. Again, we don't care about class, tonight, again, tonight is Monday night, again, where we do or scripture the young class, and it's always in mind that all our brothers and sisters, and when we say our brothers and sisters, we're talking about, children of the, transatlantic slave trade, even, as we say, our so-called brothers from the other tribes as well, the tribe of Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Asher, those, again, when you read in our records, who came across here, before on Jerusalem. And again, we could go and read back all these records and then in our history book. And again, our history book, again, in the Bible, again, the only book in the earth that can give the history on each and every nation. And this is why again, it's so important that all people, recognize what is taking place in the earth right now, and everything is a reminder to us, a reminder to the nation. And as we continue to bring out or bring these reminders out, we always, reach out to brothers and sisters and always give them that invite and let them know that, you could view the classes online wherever you're at, if you have stream, if you have YouTube, Facebook, you could go up on our webpage. And always click the link. You'll see as classes been streamed, from previous time, even now, it'll be the opportunity being given to our brothers and sisters whereby they can really understand the history and the culture of our people, because now we pick up a lot of all these other nations' history and culture and follow the rules and the acts the act of every unclean way. And as we, as a people, follow the customs and culture, it has put us in the position where we moved away from our power and moved away from our Father, the Most High God. There's always a way and always, instructions given that we could come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We read about, particular part in our history where, the Roman Catholic Church removed at a point in time, and I didn't know say that the entire hour so we men about Commander GEN.YAHANNA, holding on the truth, continuing to be a pillar in truth and continuing to be that father figure and a brother to each and every brothers and sisters in this faith. With the opportunity given, we always make mention of this brother, make mention of the work that was put in, and the work that was put in before, even the prophets of old, and we see that continual pattern, continuing, to always do that repetition, because now the Most High God has a repetition, and this is why they say they choose us because we are few in numbers. He had a repetition to uphold, and he uphold a repetition by doing it, by choosing this seed or this people to be that righteous people in the earth, and that they would lead by example. And this people today is known as the children of Israel, or the true Jews of the Bible. And when we talk about the true Jews, we talk about the so-called blacks, Latinos, and the hidden ones. Again, these were by names given by us, by the people then that had us or taken us captive, and use every vile or unclean, as we say, act that will bring to the destruction of the mental and the, as we say, the order of these people. And then we as a people, as we took on the customs and culture of these nations, we end up in a position where we start to compromise. And because of compromising, we become just like them, or as Secretary mentioned, we feel Gentiles. And again, you can look at that word, you get it on the one hand, and it has a twofold meaning. And because we took up that spirit, we started to work after the customs and culture, and we are labeled as them. Right? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, I missed it. Right? Salapia. Right? Okay, now I want to chapter here, right? Now I want to chapter here, right? So again, we took up the customs and the culture of, these other nations, and this is why again, with that custom and that culture, we start to come against the old. We start to, be victims of one another. We start to bring gun violence. We start to bring harm to our women, or people. We start to become enemies or arch rivals to one another. And why these other nations, prosper in everything that they build off of us, meaning that when we get into that confrontation with one another, they will build off us and they will recognize something. And by looking and causing, as I say, rift or conflict in between our people, we will be the example for them to build off us. And this is why I give is always a reminder for people in our nation. Right? You go to the book of faith naturally, right? So again, we're going to go into again a part of the history that again was removed from the Roman Catholic Church. And the reason why again we again, this platform was chosen to really go into because it had, you know, a lot of things that we would learn in time past that we didn't understand that what our forefathers stand for. They stand for, I would say, for truth, for righteousness, and they would always be justified in the sight of the Lord with the act of, you know, not taking up customs and cultures of these other nations. And this is why, again, our history and our record is so important, and this is why we always bring that reminder out on a daily basis. And you can always go to the ISUPK webpage, you know, tune in to the ISUPK classes, again, ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago, and more, as you say, a media, the platform that is provided for us in this present time. And as the Most High God open up these areas, is for our purpose, because in our records, it makes mention that everyone is going to get opportunity to hear this word. And this is the opportunity that is presenting itself at present. From the men that were chosen, as we say, from that bloodline, as we saw, the remnant, or men that, as we say, can make mention, who the Most High have reserved, who have not bowed, you know, to any idol. And this is where we are right now. First, this Maccabees, chapter 1, right? And as we read about the act, as we say, or what God has went through in, as we say, in times past, is the same thing that we see right now at present. We see brothers, you know, facing that same act, and as the world gear up, and as we see the world at war at present, is the same thing that, as we say, we read as we read out of this history, we're going to see some of these same things popping up, and this is why, you know, again, Commander GEN.YAHANNA have been prophesying, you know, or bringing that reminder, just like as the prophets are old did. And as the scriptures and in our records make mention, I believe it in I.S.U.P.K, where it makes mention the Most High would never destroy a city without a warning. And you know, we are doing things, sometimes you might find it taking too long. But understanding a father, he always gives that opportunity for you to turn or to repent. And this is why we as a people, and as you say, the brothers and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General, as you know, you see brothers turn from following, you know, the lifestyle that they lived before, and you know, take up the customs and cultures of our forefathers, or the acts and, you know, the way of life, and they do exactly what is being required. And this is why, you know, a lot of us, a lot of, you know, people will look at it and say, there's all them man and looking, you know, so militant acts that our forefathers performed in that time. Even coming out of Egypt, when Moses at that point of time, you know, was given the instructions, and he brought us out, you know, by the arms of the Lord. And as you say, the angels, as you say, overshadowing us without any harm or the enemy trying to pounce upon us. And this is why I will be here and that will be there, right? So we are going to the book of First Maccabees, and we'll start at First Maccabees 1:1, right? And we'll go from there, right?
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Spain, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
Right. So now when you go back and doing it again, history, as you say, the Greek or the Greco-Roman Empire, And it was a key because now when you read them again, GEN.YAHANNA, they have a breakdown and this. And this is why again we always go after, because to be on this platform and bringing all these records and bringing this reminder, because we at a time, where it is either the holiday or where people look at Thanksgiving, and then from that it would have Christmas, and from that other events will come along, and because of that time, these reminders will be brought out, just like a father bringing a reminder to his children, because why? Of the other nations it will be heavy, but now without that hedge and that protection around us as a people, or as you say, as a father of his children, then we'll be easily persuaded to do what? To join the act of evil or the act of wrongdoing. And what will happen? Now we become arch rivals, we become enemies to one another. And this is why I believe it's so important that we pay attention and take heed. Because why? These records belong to us. Because why? We were the chosen people, or I would say a peculiar, a royal people that was given the opportunity to leave the earth and would be given back that opportunity by the return of our King Yahushua, Jesus Christ, with the name. Right? Go ahead.
They stood and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth.
So giving a brief history on on the heathen and what took place. Go ahead.
And went through the ends of the earth and took spoil of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
Right, and why the earth was quiet before him, just like in any act of war or any nation that have dominion of power in the earth, all other nations will be in will come under them. Because why? Anytime that they raise that red flag, just as we see today, we know as America or modern day Babylon, we would see they portray the same act. And every nation would be in subjection to honor them. And this is why now they could call sanction on this one. They could say, well, hey, they could stop this from receiving this, or they could say, we pay an amount for a wheel, or let it come down and you must have a visa, you must make application, this certain thing. So now they will have that control over the earth, and they could say or do as they please, because why? Everybody is in subjection under them. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4, verse 3, whereupon he was exalted, his heart was lifted up. Verse 4, and gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, and become tributaries unto him.
Right? So again, just as I make mention, this is now becoming going, as we say, in return, but he taken from. Because why now? He wants to demonstrate something and demonstrate power. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 5, and after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die.
Right? Go ahead.
Wherefore he called his servant such as the honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Right? And this way, again, as the men that were under Alexander, these men would become, as we say, kings and ruling over some of these provinces, some of these territories that Alexander at one time ruled over, and they would become again separated. And this is why now when the perfect example to look at is the war in Ukraine and Russia, with Russia and Ukraine, and America on this side, and because why? All of them fall under one banner, which is the oppressor. And just like any person that would oppress anybody or oppress people, they will have the same mindset, but they will do it in different levels based on wherever or whatever territory that they will be over, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants, they ruled, everyone in his place.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in years.
So no, it's what you choose. And this is what America in the West, Russia in the East, UK in the East. Now we see, again, England, Poland, Spain, France, again. Everybody knows the that song in the head and what that superpower. Right? Go ahead.
And they came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and reigned in the 157 years of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Right, and this now again it given him it dropped in history before and then it go into the story after. And this is why it's so important now. Again, to know that we have a book that is full in history and full, of prophecies and full of anything that could bring that sense of reason or that sense of knowing that a people and a nation would uplifted or brought to the place where they would rule and rule, not just rule, but rule in righteousness. And anybody that's coming up under them would, see the benefits of being under righteous people. Or at times stimulated, their mind or beating on land, stick that with on land. If you look at it will remove from the earth right now. And this is why as Commander General always make mention that the soldiers that standing right now are important. And men need to stand right. Because why? Everybody will need it in this time. Because why? What is taking place in the earth? Now it is called to that time when men will be called to duty. And that duty will be the outlet. For some reason, and we see it, we read about it, we always get drawn into the conflict. And because I've been drawn into the conflict, I will the most I God always say, this is why we raise them to demonstrate to me. And this is why again it's so important that we listen and pay attention. Right? Go ahead.
In those days, went out around about us, but since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
Right? And now it will give you a short, as you say, a brief synopsis on the heathen. Now it's going to us because why? Now it's showing you something that what, as you say, that take root in the nation. And as the record make mention, it says, no good tree to bring forth salad fruit. Even coming out of Egypt, the merman against the man who the Lord gave charge to lead over the nation. And we see the end results of that. And we see the same thing happening today because as men, because the Most High always speak to one because to avoid confusion, to avoid conflict. The men and them that stand with the order is the men and them who become, as we say, mighty soldiers and you can read about them. Because why? They understand order. They understand truth. They understand what it means to serve. And this is why I believe as a people and a nation, as the world go to war, we need to be more, as we say, more vigilant or more observant, more than ever. Because why? As I say, high time that we should wake up out of sleep. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 12. So this device pleased them well, as they went in to the king, who gave them license after
going and coming. We even with them, just as we see happening at present. We intermingle, as you say, in between them, but we start to lose the sense of balance. And when I say the sense of balance, so instead of we understanding this is just our business deal, we become, as you say, start to become that, as you say, when you celebrate, birthdays, these, as you say, these their holidays. We did something. We perform the act of evil. When I say that, it's because nothing wrong with knowing the day that you're born. But from the time you're still the commandment, thou shalt worship no other God. You bring shame to the Father. You bring shame to the house. The justice, or as you say, for that wrong act, you receive that punishment. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. Thereupon they built a place of excellence
and started drawing all this, as you say, this going, as you say, where we would call Olympic study, where you would see or that act of our people taking up the customs and the culture, where, as you say, they're gladiators, or as you say, wrestling, or that former act rival or fighting, one trying to analyze the other, and there would be a with other, and they would want to the one that they would choose, to be the victor or the champion. So whole at that place, we started to come back as well. Anybody could speak at that point, 15, other question.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 15, and he made
Examine the heritage, the far way, the right ways, and the pick up wrong ways. And when I say pick up wrong ways, now you do an act or perform an act that you're supposed to be living in righteousness. Now where do you know? Is an example of not to do it. It's okay to, as you say, to walk the road, half naked. But in Israel, or as in the nation of Israel, there was always rules. Because why? Our Father always had a reputation to maintain. And that reputation would always be the earth, or as we say, every nation looking to us and making them. And say, in the land that as we say, our captivity, this is a wise and understanding people. Because why? What they see we do, we go do that. Why you don't eat, pork, lobster, crab, and shrimp? Because why? The doctors and the scientists going into, as we say, all the research, and everything is evident because you have it, as you say, on the come out. And now, because now, as you say, you're hard near hard, or to not understand what right and wrong is, now you become ignorant. You can join together with the people there. And this is why again, when we look and we read, we see the same pattern or the same condition.
First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 12, to the heathen, our soul to be mischief.
Right? And again, this holy covenant, again, is these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because why it's holy? Because it's separated. because it's as you say, over Egypt, Navy. So now it's showing us some sense of military might, or as you say, a military power, where you know, if I break them, and I start to break all the ones and them who, you know, let me say the nations around about them will be looking up to them as a powerhouse. Now every other nation will do what? They have no other choice but to be so. America break Russia. What will happen? Not everybody now will, or break China, what? Conjecture. As you say, what we call powerhouse. Now we see again a spin. Right? Go ahead. First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 18, and made war against Ptolemy, the king of Egypt, and Ptolemy against Ptolemy. He had the power, just like again and Jacob from the womb. And the one that holds the power, every other nation will come under subjection under that power. And now again when you speak, we had they know as that seed evil or wicked, and there's a balance. A lot of teachings will be taught, and you know, will be looked at as Satan as this, you know, and he has a duty to perform, just like all the other angels. They have a duty, and this is why we not being taught by righteous black men, and not knowing again the other reason, these names because these are dying names. Now given to us. Would be the point that they would be crying out for a deliverer, for a savior. And the Most High God will always, you know, send that deliverer, that savior, to bring that reminder before destruction. Right? Well, verse 19. Thus they got the strong cities in the land. And after that, after splitting it, he turned again in the 140 and third year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude. Right. So we heard about, you know, this people and this nation, because why? There's history about us, and therefore fathers will teach them the history. And we always make mention again, if you Psalm 83, if you want to understand why these nations and them are in the position that they read Psalm 83 and then come to class and ask questions. Any one of the I.S.U.P.K classes, whether it be here in Trinidad, Jamaica, you see, in Harlem, you know, in DC, in the UK, in the East, I will, you know, just remind again, the Eastern Cookout coming out, you know, November 25th, again, commanding GEN.YAHANNA, you know, the Eastern, you know, doing a breakdown and we will worship. Again, change the topic because again the topic was supposed to be on pornography and video game. We changed it because why? It's the importance of what is taking place right now. And this is why again these reminders will be brought out. These reminders is needed right now at present to people that we move from understanding that we have a culture rich in history. As you see, we are instructions that will do us, that will fix all the problems in our community, in our homes. And this is why again, This book, again, these records inside here, it's solid, it's truth. And by watching it from the eyes or being taught on that righteous black men, this is the only way we can really, as you say, break through. You say now, as you say, again, in religion and all, and we now looking at, these records, and then the question would be asked to them, who teach you? Then they would make mention after that Abraham, as you say, a grandchild of the people then that had the question teaching your history. Because why? That grandchild living history. And we know, anytime these people start to understand the heritage and the custom and the culture, real problem. Because now record inside of it. And as we even make mention, if these people then following the God, we can't come up against them. But if they're not following the God, then we could go into that people. And this is what I'm saying right now. Because now we're not following the instructions of the Father laid down for you. But know this, in the I.S.U.P.K and the GEN.YAHANNA, the men in here would stand for truth, and as the scripture says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. This house is where we serve the Lord. Because why? We're not affiliated again with no religious group or organization. Religion is what how we in this condition. The civil rights movement is what how we in this condition. We, as you say, joining with the enemy is what how we in this condition. This is why I've been example after example, and we see it really. And this is why I know why we can't be very wrong. We will defeat righteousness. Right? Go ahead.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 21. And entered thoroughly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altars and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof.
Right? So now coming to Jerusalem, as we say, or this place, and I don't know, just as we read in last Saturday, and when the instructions that were given by his father David, and their temple, and as you say, as build the temple, they look with the instructions, even before that and all, in time of Moses, when the nation, was about to enter into the promised land. And as they enter on that shore, and it's here, I know they get everything, where now this heathen now went in and do what? And started dismantle, and started to do what? Break up everything. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 22. And the tables of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the bells, and the censers of the gold, and the zeal, and the crown, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off.
So now, as I say, now you enter into this pull down the system. If I say it down, pull down because why? You want to demonstrate, as I say, that I you want in charge. And this is why now, as you see, when you see people perform these acts, and you see like them like wrong with it, because as you say, sleeping room in the back room. The woman then she, as you say, when she go in, as you say, that move alone and the customs are because of society, what she do? She separate down and tear down everything. And it's clear that they move away as scripture says, so that is ground to the place where now they become evil to the husband. So they become evil to the children. And I perform all, I will say all by even to the own self, because I move out on that hedge of protection. And this is where we look at who the limit from, or oppressor. Right? Go ahead.
23, he took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found.
Right.
Verse 24. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly.
Read. He speaks very proudly. After he don't do all he do, just on the seat of it. After I say the come and the done, I will say, all what they get, all the go and they sit down together and they talk proudly, who the unalive. They speak proudly. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 25. Therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were.
Because now it's going through. It's going through. I would say, as you said, these 12 tribes, these brothers, and then as you say, the families and Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, you name it. That tribe, everybody because why? The act of unjust act was done. Because why? This nation wanted to, hey, we put our house in the air. We could go in by anybody, we could listen to the house. And we are people. And then we could go and talk proud about it after. Go ahead.
So that the princess, and the elders mourned, the virgins and the young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed.
Go ahead.
Verse 27. Every bridegroom took lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness.
Right. Because why there was in heaviness? Why? Because now something was done to these people or this nation. And just like family, any man that comes to a family member, just as we see, as we say, as we say in records, there's a time for everything, a time and a season of everything. And this time was that time, and we were in mourning at that time. Because why? A lot of, as we say, innocent blood was shed because the act of these other people wanting to demonstrate that, hey, if anybody tries to come up against, you go on a lie here. You get rid of it. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 28. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
And why was covered with confusion now? Because now, or somebody to rule over the nation, because now being a nation, the Most High God always has been living, as we say, round about one another. So now, with this act now, again, I'm trying to be close with the word choose, where everybody was there on that time. And was again all that all male emissions together at that time. And this is the Lord 56 annual Passover. April 20th, Durham, North Carolina. Durham, North Carolina. This is where, the gathering of the Lord's people, or that will be host, right? This is the gathering, or that place is where to be host, right? And this is why, again, all brothers and sisters need to pay their Passover. Again, the feast 200, and again, Commanding General has been hosting brothers and sisters in the spirit of brotherhood for the last 55 years. Rehearsing the righteous acts that were performed by our forefathers of old. And with the opportunity, continue on, as we say, from that bloodline. Because why? We from, as we say, that royal bloodline, as we say, the true Jews of the Bible, of all records. And this is why, again, it is important that each and every brother will be given opportunity attend the Lord's Passover. Again, April 20th, 2024, Durham, North Carolina, the Lord's 55th annual Passover to be held. Right? Continue.
So Matthew chapter 1 and verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
So now we are under power and control over, as you say, the realms and them over these nations. Now to all these nations collect taxes from the people. And this is where these other nations learn this from. The focus of UK is that the men who over that would make sure that everything is well with the people. So it's not to say like you see brothers and sisters at the street corner, you see the condition at the black hole, you see, as you see, children being molested, women unaliving their children, in from the womb, in these things, all unrighteousness, because in time where the nation will be always about our being need, we will always go, as you say, right. And why right? Because now it was recorded by righteous black men. Men now with the word, it stands for truth. And uphold law and justice, right. And not turn to the left or not turn to the right, but stand straight and upright. Right? Hey, yes, I'm never something like that. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, sir. So now again, this is 2 years like butter. Real real deceptiveness, real deceitfulness. Anything good, real deceitfulness, and try to deceive the people. And this is the same spirit that we pick up from our oppressor. And this is why again, the men in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General and again, they always combat that spirit of righteousness. Because now we have an act and a duty to perform. And just like any soldier, again, that would come and walk upright, or as we say, just as Christ went, come and walk upright, or as we say, just as Christ went and call these men and tell them, hey, come, I'm going to make amen. These is the men that you see in our time. because why? There's brothers out there that need this. The sisters out there need this. You would always see the result of that work. And then again, look at some of these, I would say, photos or I would say or pics that will be put up on a daily basis to all the media platforms. Brothers, feeding their brothers, feeding their sisters, and fully, I would say, we check our phone here. The brothers and sisters, reaching out, brothers reaching out to each other, a brotherhood, the a sisterhood. This is being performed on a daily basis. Now I will say that's why when Paul makes mention, he say, show me your faith, and I will share my faith with you. And this is what we see in Nigeria as it began to come on. Not saying that one day and shouting all kind of mumbo jumbo with your mind. And we have brothers and sisters that need this. The need to hear it, and the need to be consoled, because why? We know, we say in that hidden, we say in the again, the story parts. The part is before and now the book.
32. But the woman and the children, verse 33, then built they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them.
Right. So now they I will say the heathen set up camp in this zone. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 34. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein.
Right. So now when it say the playing the same thing. And the example I gave is 1845 when the Papua came in. Or I would say after Peruvian or whatever, and the Godfather. Islam, these are the customs that they brought. So now, look at what we're reading now. It says wicked, because why? Now we're going to deceive or bring our people to the point of deception. They think it's good and they're okay. Because now, as you say, it's Sweden way, and I can move it however I want. And my way of moving it is to always pray against the people. Make mention, a gift is what is for you. Now we accept something. Now we remember this man, teaching can, this man, I can't, unloyal to him. But not knowing he doing that, and just as you say, they go sit down together with the people and they go talk about it. And this is why again, these reminders will be brought up. These reminders again is for us as a people and our nation. That's why we have moved away from the truth. Moved away from the righteous black man. Today now I will say in 2020 and on as most movement and London, I will say now is the time again for brother and sister. It's a high time that we should be about our sleep. Stop sleeping now. The truth is there. Right? Word.
Verse 35, they stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they led them up there, and so they became a sore net.
Right? And as I say, now they became a snake. it became
evil as adversary
adversary
to Israel.
right? So now it's for it is to lie in wait against the sanctuary, against the sanctuary, against children of Israel. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 37. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defile it.
Right? So this holy place, we say the place where everybody, as you say, the gather come together. Now the Saturday was unalive. Because now when you make that, you know that some people go, as you say, the voice working and again, if you read about that, it's happening. These acts taking place. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 37. Thus they shed, verse 38, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her.
Right. And he's talking about us. Now, the place we're supposed to be, as you say, that place at home, now it became a place of distress, because now we own home, we can't even live in it. We own home, we own house, we can't even live in it. Because why? The ways and the customs are here, he will take it over. And this is why again, the so-called black Latino Italian, now is that time, as you say, put that in the house. That is the theme of the house. That is the state. Go on every side. Right? Go ahead. That used to be kept, and to say, at a time, now it's like, it's already done now. It's already done now, as you see, like today, we ask our brothers and sisters if they understand, or what is it about? Religion of Christianity, the people, that day, you're not supposed to this, you're not supposed to do that, you're supposed to be straight like that thing, you're not supposed to put a light straight, whatever. I'm not understanding, because why? Who teaches it? Who righteous black man is going to understand this? Not the men in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General, not yet. Because now, Israel will understand what that time is, and they do, and then bring the proof and show the record of the scripture. Say, prove all things. And we can go right now, proving what we're saying, and we can go in the scripture and we can show in our record and say, hey, this is what I was, the purpose of it. Because why? At that point in time, the men and them who had businesses or who was running any nation, they was taking advantage of the people. So now, in order to stop taking advantage, now, as you say, that time or that day off, because you see, when you read in Genesis, and they talk about, and that time, the Most High God, rest, that rest didn't stop, because now, as you say, work was being done, but what was the righteousness? But that was something that you see, or noted, for people them with the check or over business. It's a very no time off, no day off.
Verse 14. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning.
Right? So now we like I just say, when some people say them because I see them face and then they get frightened. This is all taking me, because now it's like, nah. What next? Children being unalive, women being unalive, men being unalive. On this side and that side. What next? Right? Go ahead.
Moreover, verse 41, moreover, King Antiochus ruled through his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Right? So now, again, as you say, the pattern of who? Of America. We all should be one. Look reading about it. Reading about it. Go ahead.
Verse 42. And everyone should leave his law to all the heathens that breathe, according to the commandments of the king.
Now we see a big disagreement right now. Why are we see Israel and Palestinian culture now Hamas? And we agree. And you see only the laws and agree. And I read about history is again is the only book in the earth which can tell you about each and every nation. About the rules, about who they is, about the mindset of that nation. That anytime black was a reason. But this book, no. These records, no. CD, as you say, you know, the text is commanding generally and holding, as you say, the story. That was the only book. If a black man, Latino or Native Indian, or one of these 12 tribes or the sons, take up the I.S.U.P.K and we have example of that recorded in slavery of that act taking place. And this is why, you know, when we been taught these records, we was taught through religion, not under righteous black men. And this is why again, now, as you say, the truth in the earth, as you say now, 690, 69. This is when the truth, as you say, was you know, came back into the earth amongst black Latinos and Native Indians. You know your history. And that was the time, as you say, when religion was on a high, Islam, Black Power movement, you name it. Anything that deal with black people or power was on that point in time. And the truth was in the midst of them. And what outstand everything, which is user for righteous black men, holding down or studying and understanding that the people then who was trying or who was teaching at that time, they won't be privileged. They were impossible. Because now if you pick up our book, I will say these records are in Revelation 2 and 9. And it makes mention, they say they are these, but they are not. Who they say they are Jewish, and say Jewish now. And this is why we always say, as you know, Captain Past mentioned, let the Palestinian community know that people who are attacking is the wrong people. It's the wrong people. Know this. And this is a reminder to the people and to the nation and the Palestinian community. The people who are attacking earlier is the people, as you say, who are not the true Jews, but the Jewish man. And this is why, again, it is always a reminder. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
So what?
Many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
So plenty of people, and we see that. We see that today. We consent to what? To the ways and customs, or the teachings and doctrine. Islam, Rastafarian, you know, Hinduism, Buddhism, you name it. Egyptology, you name it. Any stone, any rock, any statue, you name it. the people do what? He started following. Go ahead.
And sacrifice unto idols, and profane the Sabbath.
And stop following them high holy days. Now the feast of Hanukkah coming up. It's a feast day. It's a time where brothers and sisters, and again, you will read about that on that day. Which is again must always be read on any specific gathering, any gathering that was ordained by our forefathers. We will read about that and the act of righteous men or sisters standing for truth. Because why? As a people and as a nation, because of moving away from a custom, I would say, of history, we take up, I would say, the customs and culture of these heathen nations. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 44, for the king hath sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Right? So now again, I say, this is what I would say the king doing. Remember now again, anything that was being done or any act that was being performed, let us go back to the king. So now the king will respond. Let them know how to go about and what to do. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 45, and forbid burnt offering and sacrifice and drink offering in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days.
Right? And we should stop, doing what we're supposed to do. Again, this is the old book. Anytime a black man in a hole, and I'm not saying black, I'm all white side. Because a lot of people wear black, and you're thinking, I would say, skin complexion or low. In our record, it just mentioned that Israelite like a speckled different shades are brown. And this is why I will not understand of this not being taught by a righteous black man or black men. Then you happen to see it today, and they're like perfect example. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 46, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
Right? Go ahead.
Verse 47, set up altars and courts and chapels and of idols, and sacrifice swine, flesh, and unclean beasts.
So now all of this are doing. Again, go and again read Leviticus 7, the dietary law, the hard and dietary law. And in the dietary law, this was highlighted. And the swine, the lamb and the swine, because why? This is something that would happen over a time period. And you know what will happen? These people will love it. So it was a reminder. And the swine, it is unclean unto you. This is something I'm not supposed to put inside of. Go research it as you say it, go up on a little keyboard and type in and you Google. Put it in Google and you will see what's going on. You'll see what taking place. Look at, as you say, doctors and as you say, researchers looking at look at it. And you see them moving and they're taking things and checking it. Telling you how you say the heat temperature that it go up, and this may even cooking in the that nothing. So imagine, the consumption, human, as you say, or the people choosing by the Lord to put it in the body. And everybody else is supposed to follow up on us. And this is why I do this. I would say the high level, I would say, your blood sugar level high. You find, as I say, you find, walking, you put sweat in, you find, you're sluggish, you're lazy. again, this is always a reminder for us. And this is why now again we read it and we break it down and go in depth and explain it. Because why? Now we have a history or a record. Letting you know this is not what we're supposed to be doing. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 48, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
Right? So now, as you say, the children growing up, they don't know history, they don't know the culture, they don't know who they is, they don't know the identity. They can ask them a question, and they would say, we identify ourselves as we say, our person like that. So now you're trying to link two places, as you say, we as well our country and another country. So you're linking yourself to two countries. Now we ask these other nations, what is your ethnicity or what is your race? So we identify the ethnicity and the race and who they belong to, the nation. And this is why now we always let our brothers and sisters know, hey, they belong to a race and a nation of people. Because why? Because they don't know nation, this is why we in this condition. Because they understand race, this is why we in this condition. And every time, again, when these 12 tribes of black people come together, we always look at the act of overthrow. And at times, and I would say the majority of times, or all the time, it is always a conversation. It is how we could, fix this, how we could, get it done, or help one another. If any mindset or if any living lifestyle that we living, it will be an act of evil. But we come here for, we're not supposed to come, I would say, he's an American, he's a because why? We live the act of deception. The righteous black men will do what amen. That we see our best, and we see the food rise. The cookout that coming up again in the news time. They're all black Latinos and Native Indians is entitled to. All these things, again, you see the act of righteousness under righteous black men, and the act of evil under black men that learn evil, the ways of the oppressor. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 49. To the end they might forget the law and change for the ordinances.
And this is important. Because why? After all of this, the whole purpose is you now moving away from your identity, from your custom, from your culture, from your laws, from your statutes, and start to do it. And start to replace it with the heathen, replace it with the Assyrian, with Islam, with Hinduism, the Buddha, you name it. Replace it with that end result. Right?
Verse 50. And whosoever would not do according to the commandments of the king, he said, he should die.
Right? And why are you saying that? Why are you saying he should die? Because you know why? You are influenced by righteousness. That's true. And in order to achieve that, again, Psalms 82. Psalms why it always had a conspiracy, it always had a plot and a plan to do it, to make these people forget something, who they are, and the purpose of they being in the earth, or our righteous seed being in the earth, to do it. That every other nation that's coming up on that will learn to do what? To follow instructions and orders. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 51. In the same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city.
Right. So now it's at a goal in, as you say, it's at a goal to different zones. You can now read that as I said, the whole nation was in mourning. So now where it's at now, when this the place where everybody will be at that point in time, and the full young is strong. So everybody now is like, nah, boy, like, something went wrong, or I say, some not following wrong, because the event comes. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 52. Then many of the people gathered unto them with everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evil in the land.
Right. So now they started following them, because now again, started accept that gift. And what started happening in land? Evil started happening in land. Go ahead.
Verse 53. And drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor.
Right, that refuge. Go ahead.
Verse 54. Now, the 15th day of the month, Caselu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of the desolation upon the altar, and built idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side.
So now tell it around this specific time, and we will read about it again. Because now, as you say, what we will do, as you say, we will read through the matter, because now this is our time now, we're coming up. And as you say, where all people know, as you say, that they start to even introduce, because in the areas right now in Trinidad, is I want to be chapter, Parang, Little Sopahan, everything concerning that. Now, why they, as you say, pick up that evil custom and as you say, pushing it. Now we will just read about the acts of why they was doing it, and to bring that reminder to our people that we shouldn't take up the customs and cultures of these other nations, or heathens and them, because why? It will destroy us, or as we say, will bring destruction upon us. Because the Most High God is our Father unto us. And any father would always make sure that his children is taken care of, all these instructions that they will follow, that will not bring harm to them. And this is the reason of it. Instructions given by our Father that we should follow. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 55. And burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. Verse 56. And when they had rent in pieces the book of the law, which they found, they burned them with fire.
So now you see, because now they know something to do what. When they read again about the history, about our forefathers and the act that was performed, and this teaching we're going to do, we bring this people to the point where we're going now. The Lord will always look over them when they're following the rules. As in Psalm 83. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 53. And whosoever was found with any, the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death.
right? So now, look, we're reading right here. Reading anybody that was found with holding these scrolls and reading outside or teaching it will be put to death, because why? They had one agenda, to do what? To make everybody, as you say, come under their ways, their custom, their culture, which is unrighteousness. But again, the Most High always had reserve, always had a remnant, because why? You know, just as the scripture say, or identify us as sheep without a shepherd, he always had, you know, as you say, that shepherd in that staff and waiting, as you say, to get them back in line. And this is why, again, we always mention that commanding GEN.YAHANNA is the only man with the rank and authority in the earth to do this at present. Because why? He was raised under righteous fathers, righteous black men, and was brought up just like any father would do, and you see it with you know, with David instructing Solomon to stand with these laws and everything will be well with you. And we've seen it with commanding GEN.YAHANNA, taking up or following the instruction, just as you say, following the orders come down, as you say, from our King Yahushua Jesus Christ. And that chain never breaks with our structure. 1 Corinthians 11:3. God is the head of Christ, Christ is the head of man, and man is the head of, as you say, over the woman. That rank structure never changes. And this is why when we make mention, we follow commandment GEN.YAHANNA. Yes. Because why? We follow Christ. Okay. And this is a reminder to us as a people and as a nation. Right? Go ahead.
Was fulfilled, thus did give by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many were found in the cities.
Go ahead.
Verse 59. Now the 5th and 20th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the altars, idol altars, which was upon the altars of the Most High.
Right. So now again, what we reading about, as you say, this holiday right now, the 5th and 20th day, or the 25th day of this month, by the month of December, because we're going to read it. This was always, as you say, a heathen custom or a pagan custom on that day. And throughout, you know, our generation, or I say for over 400 years, this is something that they continue to push on a daily basis around this time, this agenda. Again, this coming, I say, what they were told or something, so much, I believe it's Thanksgiving, you understand, you don't make it in Young or the tribe of God, and you there. Because why? At that time was the slaughter where they unalive these people, liberalized and celebrated it. And this is why, again, we always make mention and always bring that reminder out to our people. We belong to a nation, and we belong to a people, and we say, these brothers, and as brothers, we need to stand with one another. And standing with one another is what we're going to do, what make the enemy tremble. Because why? Only in this house, or the I.S.U.P.K under commanding GEN.YAHANNA, we will find these brothers, these 12 brothers, or these 12 tribes coming together. Outside of this is religion, or the Christian church. And I show and I give. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 16. And at at which time, according to the commandments, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
Right? So it shows you what takes place. Because no women and them agree, they teach the children on them. That's why you say there are many acts in the record where you know women who was killed in the truth. But they never usurp the authority, they always remain under that head for that protection. Go ahead.
Verse 61. And they hung the infants about their neck and rifled their houses and slayed them that had circumcised them.
Again, look at reading about it here. Raise your balls on a tree. Raise your balls on a tree. Your Christmas balls on a tree. This is why, because why? You didn't want to, as I say, follow the customs and rules of the heathen. Right?
Verse 62. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
Right? Read that one more time, Brother Christian.
Verse 62. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
Right? And why the control between the because they know that we have a darker relay. Anytime you start to do or break this darker relay, what will happen? As you say, all sickness and all disease will do what? Will come upon you. As the scripture say, anything that is not written inside of it, any disease or sickness, it will come upon you. Because why? Because you're putting something inside of it that not supposed to be inside of it. Just like, as you say, you tell brother, hey, they always like to use their friends with as you say, with meat smoking or smoking. And you always like to use, as you say, with wood. But know this. The scriptures make mention concerning wood, they never take a smoking. And again, you can read about it, where it says, when you start to do that, you start to be tired. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 63. Wherefore, the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meat, and that they might not fulfill the holy covenant. So then they died.
So now they will, as you say, and make mention. Them wasn't there, there was no word. The Santa Street. To understand some, and again, you could read about that. Lord allow, as the time go along. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 64. And there was a very great wrath upon Israel.
Right? And why I say that very great wrath? Because now, the ones that them who didn't conform to the ways of the heathen, they was unalive. And by doing that now, you see the wickedness that was performed just by the act, and you know, like you say, everybody is one, with one human race. But now, what's showing, it's showing now the patience. You trying to enforce something on somebody that is not right. Because you thinking that you doing it, they should do it as well. But again, to understand black history and black culture is in these records. And when I talk about black, I talk about the 12 tribes. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. This is who we are. These names are just by names. And throughout the school, you'll see, as they say, these banners and then hang up throughout the schools with all these 12 tribes that we brought on them by tribe and order. Again, we continue on here, Lord allow, next, again, class, among the class, based on class, again, this is I.S.U.P.K today. Again, like, share, and subscribe the classes. Again, tune in tonight. Again, the Commander General Yahanna, Commander General Yahanna Show, or Commander General Yahanna Blackwatch. Again, for all insights or the upcoming events or what is taking place right now in the earth. You can join John Mahaiman again, again, the time period here. Again, I think the light season is on at present. So now we just our in front. So their time will be an hour. So like when it's, let's say 9 o'clock here, it will now be 8 o'clock here. Right? So again, join Commander General Yahanna live tonight again on the Commander General Yahanna channel and Black Commander General Yahanna Blackwatch. Again, Tuesday night, scripture breakdown class, General Mahaiman, tuning, that platform again on a Wednesday, on Trinidad Tuesday. So again, if you tune into that class Wednesday, it'll be live on Trinidad Tuesday. Right? Again, this is a reminder as we go into this time, as you say, at the year or the season, the reminder to our people is that they should come to class, get to know truth, get to understand, and don't believe that everybody or all nations is one. Because now we belong to our people and our nation, and we the only people and nation that doesn't know that identity. And a lot of us would say, yeah, I know. But now when you ask your likeness to another nation, to Africa. When you and she guys know who you again, like, share, subscribe to the classes. Again, we don't keep the annual Passover, April 20th, Durham, North Carolina. Pay a Passover fee, 200. I remember. The Houston cookout, November 25th, Joint Commander General Yahanna, again, Houston, Texas, going in and breaking down, the third World War. Right? And with that, we pass the class. Right. We pass the class, the priest and officer, I'm going to talk about it.